What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the most important NYCFC talk show. It's time for the Dudes in Blue. It's Monday night, September 24th. It's episode 125. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hope this episode finds you well. I'm your host, Joe Amato, and alongside me, my confidant,
Antonino. What's up, dude?
Dude, what's happening?
Nothing, man. I got this fresh new era fitted NYCFC cap, courtesy of hatclub.com. Just feels, now I feel like I'm complete.
Do you?
It's just the top, the icing on the cake.
You'd give that complete?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, since Anthony is complete, we're just starting the show. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Let us know. Say hi and let us know where you are in the comments. And if you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, it's episode 125. And if you don't already, please give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're at Dudes in Blue. It's really easy to get a hold of us on there. So tonight, we are going to pretty much do exactly what we've done the last 6 weeks. And talk about how NYCFC completely crapped the bed yet again, this time in Montreal. Dude, I'm just going to start playing the episodes from the weeks before and the weeks before, and that's just where we're going to be.
You might as well. We're broken record, beating the dead horse. Anything else you can come up with. It's just the same thing over and over and over again. And I just don't know where to go, what to do, where to hide. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And the comments, as much as I back up the coach, just the comments need to just stop. Just stop speaking. Just stop, because you're not doing yourself any favors, buddy. You're not helping the cause.
Yeah, I want to give some shout outs here real quick, dude.
Who's here?
Lalo's checking in. Jamal, what's going on? Christian Smith says, I'm tired, guys. So tired. Hashtag we got the wrong guy. David's checking in. Joey. Uncle Dom. Happy birthday, Uncle Dom. Everybody in the comments.
Yeah, that's it. Happy birthday.
Everybody in the comments, wish Uncle Dom a happy birthday. Dave's checking in. What's going on? Dave on Facebook says, I expect you two to dominate possession this episode. Very, very funny. Jason is checking in as well. Yeah, dude, it's okay. We might as well, let's start there, because you alluded to something, and I posted the graphic today on Instagram. We had the match recap posted by Anthony Merced at dudesinblue.com from the weekend. It was a 1-1 draw against Montreal, in case you were all here have no idea what happened. Domè's comments after the game were pretty boilerplate when it comes to Domè in his post-match. Like, you're starting to not be able to tell whether they win, lose, or draw the match based on his comments.
Yeah.
So you really hope that I hope you watch the game, because judging by what he says, it's not accurate. He said, the most important thing for us is that we kept the ball. We controlled 70% of the game. If that's the most important thing, dude, then we are not the most important talk show.
No. I understand where he's coming from, and I understand that there's clearly a language barrier that is happening right now, but just stop speaking, because it's not. You cannot come into a team that was on the verge of becoming one of the greatest teams in the league this season, building up from the start, from the first year we started playing. We've slowly, progressed forward, and we got better and better each season, and we were on pace to do that. And all of a sudden, it's just whoosh, right downhill, and we're going completely in reverse. Don't sit there and tell me possession is the most important thing. Don't tell me that was what you did well, because you didn't do well. Just because you have the ball does not mean you are doing well. If you have the ball and don't do anything with it, it is useless. It is the most useless stat. If you control 70% of the ball during the game and you give up a goal during their 30% and you can't score more than one, You are not doing the right thing. It is not working. I understand. You know what the most important quality is, dude? Is execution. Quality and
Goals.
execution.
Goals.
Just
Win
it's
games.
It's how I understand there are different ways to get there. Listen, you can play very defensive and go on the counter, and you're not getting any possession that way, and you can win games that way. There are teams that are built to do that.
It's been proven that teams can get results against us like that. Look at DC.
Exactly. So you have to be able to have quality on the field, and there is none. There is possession, there are shots, there is zero quality. There is nothing. That is what needs to change. That is the most important thing. I don't care how you want to play to get the quality, but find it. And do whatever it takes to get the quality back to where it was the beginning of the season.
It's going to be tough, dude. It's going to be tough. I mean, we've been on this pretty much downward spiral here. I posted on Twitter Saturday night after the match. NYCFC is crumbling before our eyes. We've regressed 3 years in less than 3 months. This is getting old. Now that tweet got definitely a lot of reactions. One person was kind of optimistic on Twitter, and he said, "I didn't see the match that way at all." Now I had to respond to that because, dude, and in fairness to him, I'm going to try to get his name. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Just go onto our Twitter; you'll be able to see it. I had to respond that if you look at that game as an isolated incident, I agree.
Oh, yeah.
We're not looking at one match. We're looking at 9 in which we've only taken 6 points out of. That's the disturbing part. Not the fact that they got a hard-fought point on the road in Montreal. Okay, yeah. Montreal, I think they've been kind of turning it up of late, figuring out how to string some wins together. And I'll tell you what, man, if you look at that game by itself, like had we won our last match, yes, that's a great game. NYCFC put up a damn good fight. They fought the entire game. They fought for 90 minutes and got away with the result. But this is after a string of no results and hardly any goals and no results and no results. And that's why I can't say that you can't look at that game in a positive light. It's very difficult for me to spin this in a positive way.
If you want to look at every game on an individual basis, then I can understand different viewpoints. Like if we broke down the United game and we broke down the New England game,
look at them by themselves, 100%.
Exactly, it's a totally different story. But the fact that you're coupling the things that have gone that went wrong against Montreal, or things that didn't happen against Montreal, the fact that they haven't been happening for the last, I don't know how many months, 2 months, it's disturbing. It's really, it's like, it's not like a stopper. It's like, it just continues to pile on. It continues to add to it. And just because you think you played well, when it's attached to the last string of garbage that we've seen, no, it's not helping. It's not a step in the right direction. It's like a standstill. It's like jogging in place at this point.
That's exactly what we're doing. We're treading water. Oh, and by the way, Red Bulls, Atlanta, and Columbus all picked up wins on Saturday. The race is getting tighter and tighter. All we needed to do was sneak away with a win, and we clinched the playoff spot. Now we're fighting for it. Now we're going to be in the running for a freaking fight to stay above the line. I might be sounding like I'm totally exaggerating, but I'm not entirely exaggerating here. Okay, there's going to be a race for those bottom 4 slots. Dude, I want to get to some of the comments here on Facebook because they're coming through, and I don't want to I don't want to ignore them. Joey says, no shots from inside the box, not going to win, period. NYCFC only took 6 shots in 90 minutes up in Montreal, so unfortunately there's that. Dave on Facebook says, you don't win 70-30. You win 3-1, and that's exactly right. Possession does not win you the game. Goals win the games. Lalo says that the only good thing about this game was the nearly 150 supporters that he was one of them that went up to Montreal, said it's a beautiful place. I'm sure it is. Stade Saputo looks like a really nice place to go and visit. Dude, and we're gonna have to talk about some of the players, obviously, in a second here. So we'll start off with this dude. Christian Smith on Facebook says, "Can I ask you dudes a question? How is it that Amagat starts while Tajuri Sauce sits on the bench? Is he our new Lewis?"
Well, here's the thing. You got to remember that a lot of people don't remember. You're playing Wednesday and then Saturday again.
Yep.
And Tajuri's just coming back from international duty and an injury before that. So take with it what you will. Amagat really wasn't the problem on Saturday against Montreal. I understand that when he starts over certain people, it's frustrating, but I think the longer he's here, the better he has been. Still not great. Still not what you're really looking for. I think Ofori probably should have started that game. But again, when you're playing Wednesday and Saturday, it's a little tough. You know, you've got to figure out what you're going to do for what games. And unfortunately, you don't have a huge roster to pick from where everyone's in form and fit. So
well, that's the thing, dude. I mean, because even up until recently, when you think about it, Vio was only supposed to be getting like 60 minutes, maybe 75 minutes. He's been playing 90 the last couple of games. Berget was supposed to only get 55 minutes or so. I think he got roughly 65 or 70.
Yeah, close to that.
You know, you gotta look at this where, like you said, dude, there's a game Wednesday, there's a game Saturday. These lineups are gonna look very, very different, and things are gonna be, you know, look. Domè shifts things up week to week. We know that already. Now throw 3 games in 8 days in the mix, and you're going to see some crazy stuff. You're going to be in like, what? Why is he doing this? Even more so than we normally do.
I don't understand the constant need to put Maxi up top and Mata in the midfield. It's no longer an experiment that's working. Just bring it back to the way it was. And play your 4-3-3 like you had it before. That seemed to be working. And implement different tactics when it's called for. Don't start just playing crosses into the box every 5 minutes when no one's in there or no one is a target man. Now you've got Berget back. If you want to sub him in, and play him in the middle of the field and move Villa to the wing and have him play with Tajuri and give him service that way, by all means, do it. But when your most creative midfielder is at the front of the field, he's not going to help you. There's no service going into the box because no one's there. We never played that way before. I think if Domè really was concerned about personnel and starting from scratch and kind of getting his own footing in, and training, the training foundation, just let this half a season go by and correct the things that Patrick wasn't doing properly. He was not shifting tactics when necessary. He did not know how to beat the high press. He didn't know when to call for the long ball versus playing out of the back. And those were little things that we all saw that Domè pretty much fixed the first 3 games he was here. Mm-hmm. So for me, you honestly just play like that the rest of the season, implement small tactics, and then when the winter comes, dump the roster and get the guys in here that you want to play and start fresh next season. But don't completely try to do an overhaul in the middle of the year because it's not going to work.
He's trying to do an overhaul week to week, match to match.
You can't either do it once and stick with it and hope that it comes out great at the end. But at this point, it's too much going on. It's too all over the place for my liking, and I'm getting a little agitated with the comments every week that things are. You complain when you win, and then you're happy when you lose. This is a results-driven game. Excuse me. This is a wins get you places game, not possession. Possession doesn't necessarily win you the game. It's a great way to win a game, but if you're losing games, then it's not helpful.
Having possession is one thing. Helpful. Having possession and knowing what to do with it and being able to execute on it is completely different. Because you know what, dude?
Quality possession.
That's just it. Man City somehow dominates possession, and yet they are constantly in the opposing third, whereas NYCFC dominates possession and sits back. So like there's different ways of playing possession. If you're gonna play possession forward, not side to side, not backwards. We've beat that horse to death several times. But again, dude, my problem is well, there's one of my problems. You talked a little bit about Maxi playing up top. I want to talk a little bit about Maxi Morales. And guys in the comments, let me know if you agree or disagree with this. Maxi Morales, as good as he is, and as much of a quote-unquote candidate for MVP as he could possibly be this season, he's too damn slow for me. And I didn't realize it until this game. And I think I texted you, dude. He actually slows the game down. When you're looking at, the passes that Alex Ring and even Amagat and even our fullbacks, they're playing 1-2 touch tops. Maxi receives the ball and he just kind of stops. He invites pressure, invites the fouls, invites players in, and he just slows things down. The problem with that is that nobody around him is moving, giving him an option. So if he doesn't have a plan before he receives the ball, the play just is dead. The play stops. Maxi Morales is too damn slow for being essentially, dude, the only attacking midfielder that we have right now.
I agree. I think he's more of he's very much invites the fouls all the time.
He's the most fouled player in the league.
Yeah, and listen, he's not going to be as fast as anyone taller than him because he doesn't have the stride. When you've got a 22-inch inseam for your pant legs, you're not going to get that far that quick. He's just, I think for me, he has the offensive skill to be a forward and to play that way. For this team, he is needed in the midfield. It is much more needed in the midfield. And honestly, clean up. Be that guy. Launch the ball into the corners, let those guys get the ball into the box, and be there for a rebound, or be there at the top of the box for a pass. He's got a great shot from top of the box. He should be doing more of that. He scores plenty of goals that way. Just got to get back to that, and it's not just stop going crazy with the lineups. Like, I understand Mata is one of the more versatile players. Should not be in the midfield. Should be playing on the wing.
Dude, how many passes did he give away?
His shots were not quality shots. I mean, he had 2 opportunities, and he needs to put so much more behind the ball when he kicks it, and he usually does. But again, when you're not used to it, listen, this guy's got to be taking hundreds of reps in practice shooting if he's going to play in the midfield, and have some offensive threat to him. But for me, if you're going to play him in any role outside of the left back, it's got to be that left forward, left wing position.
Yeah.
Where he can overlap and come back and play defense when he has to. Because let's face it, I think our 3 best servers from the left side are Shradi, Matarrita, and Ben Sweat. They both give great service from the left side. So you're not going to go wrong with any of those guys playing there. It's just the fact that now you're moving pieces where they really don't belong, and everything that they do well, they can't do well because they got to focus on things they do, they're maybe mediocre at.
Yeah, no, Matarrita was a square peg in a round hole this game, dude. That did not make sense at all. That was really, really poor. Dude, let's move on to a little bit of a positive here because I want to just highlight the fact that Jo-Inge Berget is back, played about 65 minutes, and
looked good.
I thought did well.
He looked good.
Didn't get the goal. So, by the way, NYCFC actually could not score a goal. We needed to rely pretty much on Montreal to do that. But nevertheless, he was in the right place. He was there when he needed to be. And I think, honestly, dude, if he made contact with that ball, it was a goal either way. So I think kudos to him for being able to come back from injury and actually kind of stepping up and providing something. Because how many times do we see that, dude, where a player comes back from injury, you're so psyched to have them back, and they just crap the bed because they've been out of the game for so damn long. He hasn't been that case. He kind of came in and gave that back line a bit of a run for their money for the time he was on the pitch.
I'll tell you what, wouldn't it have been nice to see him play those 2 games against DC and New England with all those crosses in the box?
He's your only target guy, man.
And just the fact that he can create so much room for himself and other people just by the runs he makes. And again, if this team plays with its head up and looks forward and kind of moves north to south versus side to side, you're going to catch him more often than not, and you're going to spring him loose here and there, and he's going to put goals in the back of the net.
Sure.
It's just, again, that's one of the unfortunate parts of this season where we haven't been healthy for good stretches, and we've missed key players for big stretches. Now, when Villa was out in the beginning, we managed to, pick up the slack and figure out what to do. And once he came back, we kind of lost major components that were doing those things well, and things kind of fell apart from that point. So, again, it's right now is about finding form and playing well. Quality play. I don't care if you 2-2, you tie the game. I understand that's fine. If you play well, it's okay. At this point, I can't worry about the standings. I can't worry about falling here, falling there. I know you have to win, but if you're gonna clinch a playoff spot and you're gonna move forward in the playoffs, these last couple of games are detrimental to what you're gonna see come playoff time. You have to be able to play quality football, and if you can't play quality football, you are not going to be successful. And we're looking at a one and done this year, much like the last two seasons. And then we're back to square one. And then we're starting all over again. And we're starting next year with all new players. And we might not have a captain. And we might, all these different things that come up. It's just, it's a really nerve-wracking time of year. We're going to have 3 long weeks off, after this week. And it's just, I have no idea what those last 2 games are going to bring us, because, just more of this is not acceptable.
Well, here's the thing, right? These next 2 games, dude, are very winnable for NYCFC.
They've all been winnable,
right? I'm looking ahead. We know what's happened in the past. You're right. Listen, we should have picked up a win against DC. We should have picked up a win against New England. Columbus was definitely that was tough to go to Columbus and get that result. Relatively hard fought game for that. It wasn't. Never mind. I'm trying to give too much credit here, but yeah. Dude, when you look at the rest of the schedule, Fire, Minnesota, DC, and then Philly. I would say that we don't have the hardest schedule when it comes to opponents in the last 4 matches, right? So look, dude, we got 12 points here, right? We got a possible 12 points that we can walk away with here. And if I'm just looking at the standings here, I believe we're actually on pace to we're earning more points than we did last year. But at this point, dude, the East is even way better than it was last year. So earning more points than we did last year doesn't really do too much. 12 points will put us at 62 if we get 12 points, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, these next 2 games are going to be pivotal. And it sucks that they're in the same week, dude. It sucks that they're 4 days apart, because you're going to see some lineup changes. You're going to see some things that we're probably going to question. You're probably not going to see you might see Villa not start on Wednesday. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened, where you see Berget up top and Schradi on one side and crap. I was gonna say Rodney Wallace.
No.
Maybe it's a good time to stop the show. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be tough, despite the fact that we're playing teams that we should be able to get results against. It's not gonna be easy because of the time frame. And then you got 3 weeks off, which, hey, listen, we had 2 weeks off for the match against Montreal. The rest didn't necessarily help us.
No. That's the killer. If you win these next 2 games, that 3 weeks is going to kind of knock the wind out of your sails, I think. Because momentum is just, it's a really funny thing to play around with. And playoffs is very much momentum driven. And if you go in with the momentum, best bet you could ride that wave all the way to the final. But just the same way you could do that, it can be pulled right out from under you with too much rest after 2 good victories. So,
well, dude, we have momentum. We're just going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, pretty much.
We've got the momentum.
Pretty much.
It's just going backwards, dude. It's going to be really tough to talk about this, but we got to give a due to the match for this. And for me, it's tough. I don't. They gave it to Sean Johnson.
I don't really care.
He did make a great set piece save where the ball got knotted down, bounced up, and he was able to push it over the bar. But guys, leave them in the comments. Let us know who to do the match is for this one. It's tough for me, dude, because I have to
go pull up my Audi index and see who did what here.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to pull up too. The only thing that I could think is, the only thing I can really think of here, dude, is to give it to Rudy Camacho for giving us the own goal.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Because without that, we wouldn't have had a point. It's laughable at this point. Like, this is where we're at. We got to give due to the match to demand to score an own goal for the other team. Guys, come on, leave them in the comments. Let us know who, because it's really hard. Dante says the ball boy.
Ball boy's always good. I'm really still trying to pull this up here, and it's not working.
Yeah, Joey says Tajuri for not quitting after Amagat started over him. Come on,
again,
I
can't give you can't give him crap because he's got to. Tajuri is probably gonna have to play 2 full games Wednesday and Saturday, so you kind of have to like give him a break somewhere. And this was the game to do it, obviously, because Amagat's been training with the team the last 3-4 weeks, and Tajuri hasn't. So I kind of get that. Rod Fani, Ignacio Piatti, Evan Bush. I'm not giving it to any of our players. I'm sorry.
Jamal is saying Villa. I mean, Villa did put in a shift on defense, dude. He actually made some. He was pretty.
But you see, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. When your best defensive player is David Villa and your best offensive player was Ronald Matarrita, you have an issue. Our best shots on goal were from Ronald Matarrita. That can't happen.
I know, man. That's
I don't know. And Callens, we forgot to mention Callens is out for Wednesday's game.
Yeah, yellow card accumulation,
which he probably did on purpose.
He was like, I'm not gonna be held accountable.
Like, I ain't playing on Wednesday. The hell with this.
I think we just give it to Rudy Camacho for giving us the own goal.
Thank you. As a thank you. It's a very much a thank you due to the match.
Yeah, because we got to just move on here, dude. This is getting kind of ridiculous. So congratulations, Rudy Camacho. You get due to the match for scoring on your own team.
Thank you, sir.
We should call it the Frederick Briant Award. Goes to Rudy Camacho for the. Ah, jeez, dude. Now what? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to look ahead. There's nothing really to look ahead to other than the fact that we're playing 2 matches again this week. One other interesting thing about this match, and I found this kind of interesting. The highlight video, the highlight reel of this game was 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. The first 2 minutes was taken up by the 2 goals that were scored in the game. So, what does that tell you about this match? I mean, people are saying that it was a hard-fought game. NYCFC played well. Montreal played really well. I don't know, man. I didn't find it. Did I text you that I was bored?
Yeah, I was too. It's just, again, if you watch each game on an individual basis, or you miss a few games and then you jump right in and you watch a game, it tells a totally different story if you've read the first 6 volumes of this series of books, if you will. You can read the last one and be like, wow, this was really good. But if you read the first 6 of those and realize that the whole series is crap, it's just like, wow, this is more crap added on to that crap. It's the same things are going wrong week after week. And again, there were a couple bright spots in the middle there where you had games against New England and DC where you played extremely well. You had great possession, but you didn't have the quality. And this is just another one of those games where you didn't have the quality, and it's starting to become an issue. It is an issue. It's not becoming. It is an issue. It is a huge problem right now. And again, people want to kill the coach and Domè out and everything. The same thing happened with Patrick Vieira last season.
Right. The
same exact thing happened. We had to wait till the last day of the season, and we had to have a little bit of help to get the bye week in the first week. So it's not the coach. It's not just the coach. I agree that the coach can do certain things differently. But if the players aren't going to be able to score goals, it doesn't matter who's coaching. Jesus Christ himself is not going to be able to change the way these guys play.
But Jesus Medina might.
He might. And listen, who knows? Who knows? Once he comes back, maybe he's the catalyst that he was before. I mean, he has a good chunk of assists this season. if nothing else. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is one piece that's causing the entire engine to kind of fall apart, which should not be the case ever. But if he can get back and healthy, we can get some sort of a rotation of a squad that we had, when Domè got here. It could be helpful. But again, now you're running out of games to play to get that form going. So I know there's 4 left, but you got 2 right now, and then you've got 3 weeks off, and then you've got 2, quick ones to deal with, and then playoffs start. So you've got to kind of find it fast. And I don't know if you can do that in training alone. I think these games are going to be detrimental, and I think we just have to hope that we can get everybody healthy for at least the last two of the season.
Roger on Facebook says, if it wasn't for the poutine we ate, the trip would have been bad. Well, I'm glad you got something out of going there, my friend.
Listen. Let me tell you something about poutine. You want poutine? You can go to Jersey and order yourself disco fries, and you'd be just as happy. Do it. Fries, gravy, mozzarella, game over.
So, since NYCFC has been completely crap in the bed lately, we're going to turn this into a food blog, guys. So,
no one's ever disappointed when we talk about food.
Welcome back to the Dudes Eat Food podcast.
Well, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, listen.
At least there we can say we're experts.
It's true. It's true. I just hope that, come the next episode, we actually have some positivity to walk away with here, because I feel I'm starting to get this is starting to drain me a little bit, dude.
Something different to talk about.
It's starting to drain me, man.
We've done the same episode for 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
We could literally just show the last episodes and just sit in the comments and just type, and no one would know the difference.
No, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Everybody, you'd fit right in. Let's look ahead here, dude. For I don't think I want to talk about NYCFC anymore. I don't think I want to talk about them anymore. Can we?
Okay.
Can we change the subject?
What should we talk about?
Maybe change the subject. Let's get predictions for the U.S. Open Cup. So Houston Dynamo takes on Philadelphia on Wednesday night.
This is a good one. This is a good one. I'm actually going to go with Philly on this one. I think Philly's been really hot of late. I think they've figured a lot of stuff out. They look like a team that's got some composure to them at this point, because God knows the last couple of seasons they've been a train wreck. This year, the second half especially, has been much less of a dumpster fire for them. I'm going to go with Philly, and I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory.
Ooh. I'll tell you what, dude. I'm going to go with Philly, but I'm going to go with Philly on PKs.
Ooh.
Because I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be 1-1, and then they're going to go to PKs, and Philly's going to win.
Okay. All right. I can deal with that.
But I agree with you that Philly is going to take it. Yeah. That's.
It's just funny how Houston gets there, and they're three places away from the bottom in the Western Conference.
Dude, that's that's how these tournaments go. It's just
crazy. It's crazy.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the cup crumbles. Well, that takes care of that. What else can we talk about, dude? We're gonna go back to NYCFC here, dude. I'm gonna give you the what if.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you the what if scenario.
Let's do it.
Let's assume we make the playoffs, and we got to play a playing game. Who would you rather play against? And guys, in the comments, let us know, because we're going to have this discussion, because it's a very likely discussion that we should be having. Would you rather play Columbus, Philly, Montreal, or DC? Go.
How about any U15 team from the Westchester area?
Even that, dude, you got to be careful.
This is a tough one. Listen, New England might be able to sneak its way in there.
Yeah, well, they're neck and neck with DC, but DC has a game in hand, and but it's possible. I assume anything's possible, but
Got a game in hand and two in the bush. I'm going to say, this is a tough one.
It's very tough, right? Because it's like
I think
choose your destiny.
I think the way DC plays, where they invite the pressure, I think if we were to come at them with a game like they had last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, if you can do that but end up finding the back of the net, there's no way they're stopping our offense. Montreal, I think, has gotten hot of late. I think they're a little too hot. Philadelphia's been hot of late. I think Columbus just always gives us a hard time, and I don't want to see them again.
Yeah.
So for me, I would say DC, not because they're on the outside looking in, because if they do make it in, it's a really big push, and they're hot coming in. I think it's just that if I have to play, if they do make it in, I think the way we play offense versus the way they play defense is beneficial to us because we can get our chances, and then it just comes down to finishing. And I think with guys like Villa and Tajuri and Medina and Berget in the lineup, I think the finishing is much different than it is from last game we played against them.
Yeah, I would almost worry about DC United, dude, only because so they have 2 games in hand, right? But I think they actually the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the last 6 matches are played at Audi Field. So, this is a team that could catch a hot hand and ride that momentum right into the playoffs, which we talk about, too, that's always an issue. I'm looking for the team that's hot and cold. If I'm playing a team that's hot and cold in the playoffs, so for me, I agree in the sense that if we can put up a better we can put up the same performance that we put up against DC, but find the net, we'll absolutely dominate them. I totally understand that. But for me, I don't know. I think I would rather see a team like Philly or Montreal, just because you have I don't know. I think you got a better chance of getting them on a cold streak than you would DC, just because, again, the way that the schedule is built, it's really all in favor of DC United right now. Like if they can get some serious results, they're definitely going to be a contender. So for me,
the good thing is if it does happen to be DC, more than likely we would be playing it at home, pending our results of the last 4 games, which I think does them a disservice. And I think it needs to be looked at. I think if we're playing a home game versus a road game, I think your opponent might change.
Yeah.
You might want to change it. You might want to change it up. Again, at this point, it's who would you rather, but I mean, it doesn't matter. It's more of, if we don't find our form, we're going to be on the outside looking in.
And listen, it very well may come to that. Not much to our dismay. And I do, like I texted you. I'm looking at the schedule here, and there's a couple of play-in games on Halloween. So if those happen, if our play-in game happens to be on Halloween, and it's at home, I'm not going to be able to go.
Yeah.
I'm just not. I can't. I'm taking my 2-year-old trick-or-treating for the first time. You think I'm going to miss that to go watch these knuckleheads try to put the ball in the back of the net, which they haven't been able to do in the last 3 months?
No, it's different. It's a different story if they're a winning streak, and it's like, I don't know. Listen, this team will play another season next year, but Little Joe's first Halloween trick-or-treating is so it's a little different.
Yeah,
it only happens once.
It's pretty important. Dante, I just want to answer your question really quick. Dante's asking me what mic I use. I use a Telefunken M82. Little fun fact. Hope you got that. It's a Telefunken M82. He said, take them trick-or-treating at the game for a David Villa hat trick. Mike, your lips to God's ears, my friend, because I'm not putting a lot of candy in that basket. Because this has been everything but a treat for us over the past couple of months. It's been rough. It's definitely been rough. Joey says we should all go dressed as pineapples or pine cones. You know, at this point, I want to be disassociated from Domè as much as possible. I don't want because you're guilty by association. I don't know. I'm gonna take a step away from that for a little bit. Hey, dude, listen, we're probably not going to get to stoppage time here. We might, depending on how this next conversation goes. But, again, we really appreciate you all joining us for this episode. But FIFA is officially out tomorrow. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, FIFA is officially out today. So,
good luck finding us.
Who's playing FIFA in the comments? Let us know. Should I put our gamer tags in the show notes, dude?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because maybe we'll do that. Let's put our gamer tags in the show notes, and we're both on Xbox, guys. So if you guys are playing on PS4, I'm sorry, but we're both playing on Xbox One. But dude, I'm pumped. We had our 10 hours this past week, and the game's looking pretty good. It's really freaking hard, but it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I still have a few hours left. I may jump on now for a little bit.
Oh, you
but
bastard.
I know. It's a very, very fun, very difficult game, but it's very realistic. It's not like the games of old where you used to figure out how to win and then you never lost ever again.
No, this is very difficult.
It's not like that. It's very much, if you're not into Ultimate Team, but you are into fantasy sports and you love soccer, I suggest you give it a try. It is very much like fantasy soccer, except you get to play the games.
It's fantastic.
And it's such a great game mode, and a great way to, keep soccer around if you're, if you can't play or if you don't play for the winter and you want to just, keep in touch. It's also a great way to learn about other leagues and other players and things like that. It definitely broadens your horizons on the game. At least for me, it did. You kind of learn about everybody and where they play, and it piques your interest. You go watch somebody else play, and find a different team to cover when when you have spare time. So, I'm really looking forward to it. I know it takes up a good chunk of my time, but listen, it could be worse. I could be doing other things that are not healthy or just negative in any way, shape, or form. So,
hey, dude, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool, and this will take us right to the end here, dude.
What we got?
You guys want to go over the NYCFC's FIFA cards? I got them all pulled up here. We can go over each player really quick.
Let's see what we got.
Let's see what we got in the foot. Okay, so I'm gonna try my best to pop this up on the screen here. Hang on, bear with me here. So NYCFC posted all of the players and their stats for Foot 19. So I'm going to try to get these up momentarily, dude. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to filibuster here while I'm trying to save these files so I can put them up. So did you hear the joke about the two soccer players that walk into a bar? Okay, hey, so let's start with the attackers, dude, because the attackers. Okay, David Villa, 82, Izzy Tajuri Shradi, 71. Jo-Inge Berget, 70. Jesus. Medina, 69. Tommy, the Irish Angel McNamara, 66. Jonathan Lewis, the only bronze player, at a 63. Anything shock you?
No. I think the MLS is always a much lower rated league. Whereas last year I didn't think David Villa deserved an 82 rating. I thought he deserved more. This year I think it's kind of warranted. It's funny how they come up with these with these numbers, because certain guys are just really given speed that that they don't have, or had speed taken away from them for some reason. Nothing really shocking. I mean, from playing the game over the past couple of years, it's kind of the norm at this point. Tajuri's a little low for me, but again,
There's not very many MLS-rated players that are above that 71-72 mark, dude. So for it's tough. Let's jump over to the midfielders here, dude, because we're running out of time. All right, Maxi Morales is the only gold-rated player at 76. Alex Ring is a silver-rated player, 74. Eloy Amagat got a 71. For a guy that hasn't had a contract in a very long time and has played very few minutes in the past 6 to 12 months, it's pretty remarkable how that guy could get over 70. I'm a little surprised about that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, these ratings cannot be based on this season.
No, of course not. Of course
they
not.
have to be based on last year's
he's got a 40
numbers.
pace. A 40 pace. He's slower than Pirlo.
Yeah, I don't understand quite how these numbers are calculated. I know a lot of people are involved. I know a lot of research is involved. But at the same time, it's just like, what do you mean?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Like watching these guys now, and then like next year, I could totally see Shradi bumping up to a mid-70s player. Ring to me, I would think is a little bit higher based on last season, but it's so weird. And Maxi, I think Maxi deserves to be where he is at now. But again, if you play Ultimate Team, you realize that none of these guys are ever used. So,
Edgar is saying if Amagat has a 70, my niece should be starting for Real Madrid. Let me just fantastic. That's fantastic. Let me finish off the midfielders here, dude. Ofori with a 71, Herrera with a 68, Rodney Wallace with a 66, and Kwame Awua coming in at a lowly 55. Rodney Wallace should probably just be like a consumable card that you could just I don't know.
Just make your defense
Send to club. All right, let's go over to the defenders here, dude. Let's see.
This is going to be an interesting one.
Let's see who we got. All right. Alexander Collins, 71. Anton Tinnerholm, 71. Maxime Chanot, 71. Ronald Matarita, 71. Cendric Huntonji, who actually has a card despite playing a couple of minutes in an Open Cup match, has a 68. Ben Sweat coming in at 67, and Sebastian Ibiaga at 65. I got nothing really here to. Let me open up some of these stats here. I'm sorry, I'm covering up our faces. But Matarita's got an 83 pace, which is really interesting to me. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Oh, we're way into stoppage time here, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. Again, it's none of these players are usually played with on a regular basis, unless you play the career mode and you're the manager or you're a player and like to pick NYCFC to play in your offline modes, which I like to do. Name a game you've played where Maxi Morales has been on the opposing side.
Yeah, no, it doesn't happen.
In Ultimate Team.
It doesn't happen. Let's just look at the goalkeepers real quick. Sean Johnson, 70. Brad Stoyer coming in at 64. And Jeff Caldwell at 51. Sean Johnson, a silver rare. It's fair. I think it's just fun to look at. Nobody's going to play with these guys.
No. But they are fun to play with. And I'm pretty sure they're all face scanned in this year, except for Shradi.
Yeah, well, we'll be cool. Maybe we could do a little capture and showcase what each player looks like in FIFA when the game comes out tomorrow. But
yeah,
so keep it locked to Dudes in Blue. We'll try to do that. Maybe we'll post it on Instagram or something like that. But at any rate, we're well into our stoppage time here, guys. Thanks so much for spending your Monday night or Tuesday or whenever you're listening to this with us for episode 125. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully, we'll have something better to talk about. We are planning on doing a show Thursday night. To recap the Chicago Fire match at Yankee Stadium. We will be there, so come and say hello if you feel so inclined. We really do hope you enjoyed this. Leave us a review on Facebook and iTunes if you like the show, and let us know how we're doing. And we're always on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dudes in Blue. It's really easy to get a hold of us there. So, dude, I think that just about does it, does it?
I would say so.
Well, without any further ado, folks, stay blue.